I absolutely do not have the best facial structure or jawline, but I have been able to make a significant visible improvement over time, 100% naturally and completely for free. In this video, I'm going to talk about mewing and other methods that I use to do this, how they work, and how to do them. So, your appearance. It's made of three things: how much fat you have, how much muscle, especially the masseter muscles, and your bone structure. Believe it or not, all three of these things can be changed, albeit some quicker than others. So what is mewing? Mewing is the practice of correct tongue or oral posture, which has an impact on the way our faces grow, form, and look. It's especially impactful if done from a young age when your bones are still really growing. But as you can see from my transformation, which I started at 20, you can still have a positive effect even later down the line. As you can see, like the previous animation, my maxilla or jawbone has rotated upwards and outwards, increasing my airway and increasing the aesthetics of my face. I have also increased the width of my face, primarily by increasing my masseter muscle size and thickness, or the jaw muscle. This also demonstrates the importance of body fat. You could argue the second picture has the most aesthetic jawline, but that's because I was far leaner and skinnier before embarking on an over 10 kilogram bulk up to now, where I'm about 12 kilograms heavier than I was in that photo. So I hope you're now all convinced that bone, muscle and fat all contribute significantly to the way your face looks. Muscle and fat are very easy to see and understand, but most people are still very skeptical on mewing's impact on the bone structure. So let me try and offer a plausible explanation as for why even adults have been able to improve their bone structure, albeit slowly over time. During my master's degree in mechanical engineering, I took multiple biomedical engineering lectures and learnt a lot about bone. And what I'm about to discuss, I've never seen discussed in any mewing video. Most people don't understand how dynamic bone actually is. Most people consider it just stuck there and there it is. But in reality, it's constantly being broken down and deposited at equal rates. It's like an equilibrium. And in fact, this strain or amount of pressure you put on the bone actually stimulates more bone growth. And this is why when astronauts go into space, they lose bone mass, because the rate at which the bone is being broken down stays the same, but the rate at which bone is being built decreases because it's less stimulus from the stress. So I'm not going to go overly into detail about this, but there's these things called your osteoclasts and your osteoblasts, which are responsible for this process. So all these little cracks and divisions between the plates in your face and between your palate. I think it's plausible that over time, with a very light but consistent force, the plates can move kind of like tectonic plates. Very, very gradually they can shift in position, and this process of erosion and rebuild of bone can sort of fill in the gaps, and it can very gradually adjust. Obviously, if you're mewing or doing the correct oral posture since childhood, as the bones literally grow in size, this can all be guided in the correct direction and form a favourable bone structure. But I think this dynamicness of the bone allows adjustments to be made even into adulthood. So another reason why you should do it is because you literally have your entire life ahead of you. If you're mewing and it's a very, very slow process, but over 10, 20, 30 years, your facial structure can be gradually improving, as opposed to sort of sinking down and sort of melting over time and with age, as a lot of people who mouth breathe and do all these other improper postural positions. So you can see the difference between me and my very handsome friend Luke, who's taken, by the way. And you see how I'm mouth breathing and I have suboptimal facial structure, whereas he has his mouth closed, good posture, and fortunately for him, he's just been doing the correct thing his whole life without even thinking about it. This leads me on to what caused my bad facial structure or weak chin. I sucked my thumb until I was about 7 years old and mouth breathed here and there for years and years. In order to suck your thumb and to mouth breathe, you have to remove your tongue from where it should be on the roof of your mouth. It's like removing the support, the foundation, the columns, the support structure for your face. And over time, my jaw did not come out and up as it should have. I was also left with an 11mm overbite, which took 2 years of braces to fix. The thing about braces is they only push your teeth backwards and fix them that way, but fixing the teeth doesn't fix the face. So here's how to mew. First, you want to have your neck not all the way back, But you need to have your neck up straight. It's almost impossible to do it if your head's really far forward like this. You want to tuck your chin in, sit up straight. Then you want to swallow, and the position that your tongue ends in after you swallow is where it should remain. So up like that. It's the back end of your tongue that should be up. As you swallow, it goes up. I'll try and get an animation of you swallowing on the screen actually. As you swallow, the back of your tongue goes up and it should stay there. So just to demonstrate, I'm sorry for this visual. You see, as you'll think from the side, the back part of your tongue comes up and it's meant to stay there. You want to swallow and create like a vacuum in your mouth. And just leave your tongue there. What's most important is you just consistently have it there all day as long as you can. And a big part of this is actually just remembering to do it. It's very difficult to condition it into you. I had a period of time where I had it as my lock screen. I just had mew to remind myself. So the next thing is how to train your jaw muscles. I use mastic gum. I'll put a picture up on the screen. I don't recommend using the jaws incisor and all these other things that make you bite the front of your teeth. The front of your teeth aren't designed for biting and chewing. I think you want to replicate as closely as possible what your chewing would actually be like if you were a caveman and you had to chew into hard, raw meat. I pretty much chew it every day. It actually helps me focus. I just chew and chew and chew and chew and chew. And don't take it too far. Don't chew it all day long and just kill yourself, because you can get some TMJ and you get irritation in your temple. I hope you found this video interesting, hopefully not too depressing, and hopeful, because you can change the way your face looks. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Check out this other video I made. Like, subscribe. My whole channel is going to be everything self-improvement. So if that sounds interesting to you, yeah, consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. P.S. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers. I love you guys.